Your client asks you to do audio for a panel discussion. 4 microphones in a meeting room. What do you do? Well, panel discussions are very common in the world of corporate video, and I'm going to take you through the whole process of how I handle one of these from the audio perspective. So that's going to be scanning and choosing our channels, gain staging, and how to create the auto mix so that it is ready for editing. My goal is for the editor to be able to take my audio file, use track number 1, which is my mix track, and go straight into the editing software. The kit that I'm using is my MixPre-10 II, and I have Wisycom wireless. So I have a Wisycom MCR54 and 4 MTP61 transmitters using COS11 microphones. And before I came in, I did a little bit of research and figured out that up in the 900s is pretty clean. So I did a scan in the 900s and found 4 clean frequencies. What I really like about the Wisycom gear is that you can find your frequencies and then you can synchronize the body pack straight to the receiver really quick. And then you can do a quick test to make sure it's working. And I really love the feedback that the Wisycom receiver gives you right there on the unit. Plus, the Wisycom app is pretty incredible, and it gives you really good telemetry and data about everything that's happening with your receivers and transmitters. So the client brought 2 cameras. These are mirrorless Panasonic Lumix cameras. So for Timecode, I'm running 3 Tentacle boxes, and I'm using the audio timecode feature because the Panasonic Lumix cameras do not have a timecode port. So just talked with the client real quick, and she's totally into putting audio timecode into the cameras. She used that before. It's really important when you're doing timecode for these jobs is to make sure that you just tell the client exactly what you're doing and ask them if they're comfortable with the process. Sometimes I worry a little bit about audio timecode and whether or not people like it and know how to use it. In this case, she knows how to use it. So we're running audio timecode into 2 Lumix S5 cameras. And then I'm also jam syncing my MixPre-10 into that timecode system. For these types of jobs, I like to make my gain structure pretty conservative on the transmitter. So that just means that I like to run the gain a little bit lower on the transmitter to leave myself some headroom. Headroom just means extra space at the top of the meter so that it's not going to be hitting 0, okay? In these types of situations, you just don't know how loud someone is going to be, and you have a very, very quick opportunity to mic people up. We're talking, I'm expecting to have 10 minutes total to get 4 people mic'd up. That's another reason I'm not hiding mics. I'm just going to get these mics clipped onto their clothing outside so that I don't have to fight with clothing rustle. Because I'm not going to have the opportunity to go up to them and modify the mic. If they get up on that stage, I can't get up there and like change the mic around if it's making noise in their clothes. So I like to put it on the outside, especially for this corporate stuff. It's a live event setting. It's totally fine. And then with the transmitters, I can remotely control them even from the back of the room. I can dial into the transmitters and I can change the gain settings if I need to. But I like to start pretty conservative. So in this case, I'm going to start at -10 on the body packs. That's kind of irrelevant to you, so I don't want you to say, oh, I have to get my body pack set to -10. In my situation, that's what I'm doing because I know that when I look at the meter, that leaves me around 10 to 12 decibels of headroom. And then when I'm on my receiver, I can then gain up or down to get the right level. So I've actually met a couple viewers recently. So if you see me out there in the wild, make sure you come up to me. I'd love to talk to you. I just really enjoy doing these videos, and I just want to encourage you as a freelancer to just stick with it, okay? I get these jobs from a number of avenues. This particular job is coming through a very long-term client. I've worked with this client for many years. The client is a good friend of mine. That's how that one came in. But I get these jobs in from Production Hub, Glimmer, Staff Me Up, and also Google searching. So just stick with it. You know, freelancing is hard, okay? Freelancing is grueling. There's not a job where you should just do less than the other job, okay? Do your best. Bring your best positive attitude every single time, okay? That is how you get callbacks. That is how you get recurring gigs, right? That's how you build your reputation. Nobody wants to like hire the guy who's just grumpy and hard to work with, okay? So just be easy to work with and bring your best effort every single time. So I recently did a video about MixAssist where I dig into the details of how to make it work for your productions, okay? But today I'm deploying MixAssist on 4 microphones. The best way to describe MixAssist is that it is a active gate situation where, let's say I have MixAssist turned on for 4 microphones. It's minimizing the level on microphones that it knows are not being used, and it's maximizing the level on the microphone that it knows is being used, and then it's producing a summed mix that doesn't exceed the maximum threshold so that you don't overdrive your system. So it's kind of like a series of gates in my channels. In my case today, I have 4 channels. It's a series of gated processing that's aware of each other. And the trick here is to get all of the gain levels set properly. That's very important. Once you get your gain levels set properly so that the MixAssist is actually activating that channel when someone is talking and not activating it when they're not talking, that's when you know that it's really, really working. I've got NoiseAssist deployed on this project because I just want to have an overall noise reduction on the main channel, the main left channel, because the way I'm recording this today for my client is I'm recording 1 channel, which is left, and then I'm recording channels 1, 2, 3, and 4, which are my lav mics, and then channel 5 is a crowd mic, and then channel 6 is a board feed. I tapped the board. It's a very simple XLR connection. I just talked to the sound tech and he gave me a feed. I'm running that through one of my line cleaners, and then I'm just taking that straight into my mixer, and that is the last channel. Now the board feed is just a straight up backup, okay? It is not the primary, and actually while I'm mixing, I'm gonna have the board feed turned all the way down. It's just gonna be recording. I'm not gonna be mixing it in to my final mix. So when the event is happening, I have auto mix going on channels 1 through 4, and I'm actively moving those faders up and down. Even though I have auto mix enabled, I still need to move the faders and create a mix. And then I've got the crowd mic turned up just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of room ambience. And then in editing, the client will be able to take that track 1 as their main mix track, synchronize it with all the cameras, and be ready to go. On the Wisycom MCR54, it's really easy to scan. You just click menu, you go down to the scan option, hit menu again, hit scan now, go to frequencies, and then when I'm in a new place like this, I like to scan the whole range. So you just hold the menu button down, and it tells you to switch off all the transmitters. Make sure you've got them all off. And then let it scan the whole frequency range. If I'm in a space where I know what frequencies I'm going to try to target, then I won't scan the whole range. But in this situation, since I'm in New York and I'm in a new place, I just want to get a look for the whole thing. All right, it finished its scan. It shows you an overview here of the whole range. You can double press these buttons together to zoom in and zoom out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on, I'm going to go over to the 900s because that's what I think I want to be in. So once I get over to the 900s here, I can double press both of these buttons. I can zoom in, and then I can see all of the clean space. So if you look at one of these frequencies, it tells you the frequency number, then it tells you the level of wireless interference. So this tells me it's 0 dBUV. So if I want to set this to a channel, I just say menu, set on, then I pick my transmitter, set on 4, say done. So then if I exit out of this screen, go back to the main panel here, I can use my buttons to go up to channel 4. So on the transmitter, I'm going to turn it on. Then I'm going to hit the menu with the, and then I'm going to go to Bluetooth sync. It says Bluetooth sync active. Then I'm going to hold sync down on the channel. Hold the transmitter right up next to the receiver. It tells me that the sync is done on both units. Synchronizing timecode is easy. I just go to the timecode menu, make sure that my frame rate is set to match the cameras, which today is 2997 drop frame. Make sure that my timecode's free run, go to jam. It shows me what's coming in, tells me what it's internal, and that tells me the difference. So I'm just going to say jam. Then that locks it in. And this tentacle is just coming into the bag over BNC on the timecode input on the left side of the mixer. Can I clip this on your belt? Yeah. Is that okay?
I can just throw it in my pocket.
That's fine, yep.
Yeah. Well, actually, I can just throw it right here on the belt.
And then this extra cable.
Actually, I'll just throw it in here. I'll keep my phone on this side.
And then just stuff the cable in there. Cool. Yeah. Got one more to mic up. Looks like all these guys are wearing suits, so I'm just using the standard clip that comes on the COS 11D. You're next.
Hey. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you. So this is for recording. You still have to talk into the handheld mics up there for the room.
Understand.
And I'm going to put some tape on there just to get you so the thing doesn't go flying out. I got some tape I can fix that up with. Looks like we're starting in 5 minutes. Good. In my experience, the line feed out of a board is not ideal. And that's just because the front of house operator is not listening to it. And you have the benefit of listening in headphones to whatever you're doing. So I don't rely on a line feed. In fact, let's listen to the line feed in comparison to my auto mix. So the first thing you're going to hear is the line feed.
To me, the technology's mature. It's just how you deploy is a really critical aspect of how you achieve that balance between the physical and the logical security.
Well, let me ask this question, and Jimmy, I'll pose this to you first. So with the human base, I mean, obviously humans are, it's hard to get them sometimes, it's hard to get those people, but how are you balancing that with the technology? What are you doing there?
Sure. I mean, I think most people will recognize that no matter how much technology is added, that you can't remove the human element completely from it. But there are inherent challenges with the human involvement.
And now let's hear my transmitters with my auto mix.
To me, the technology's mature. It's just how you deploy is a really critical aspect of how you achieve that balance between the physical and the logical security.
Let me ask this question, and Jimmy, I'll pose this to you first. So with the human base, I mean, obviously humans are, it's hard to get them. Sometimes it's hard to get those people, but how are you balancing that with the technology? What are you doing there?
Sure. I mean, I think most people will recognize that no matter how much technology is added, that you can't remove the human element completely from it. But there are inherent challenges with the human involvement.
The main thing you can hear as the difference is in clarity and fullness of sound. The line feed out of the board is serviceable, but it's not as full and it's not as round and warm sounding.
Every environment will have a different need. So I think as long as you understand, you bring in a specialized person, that will actually help move forward a lot quicker.
Right.
Yeah.
So that leads into another question I have, and I'll just ask the group this, so whoever wants to answer this, but when you're looking at that next generation that's coming up in the physical security realm, in the data center space, what are you looking for, and what kind of training and assistance can we help with that person? So, who went?
Yeah, so I think we covered a lot of ground here, but I think if you're looking at like some advanced technology, I think you really need to look at how you train your personnel. I think it's a blend of having your teams understand, at least from a technical point of view, like what is the benefit of the technology, like what are the key attributes.
Thank you very much for your time today, and thank you
Thank you.
for all the
for attending.
questions. Really appreciate it.
Thank you all.
All right, that is a wrap. That was good stuff. Now I gotta pack up and fly home. So thanks for watching to the end, and we will see you in the next one.